Hello students, in the previous session we discussed about your writing skills. What are the basic uses of your writing skills in your communication? Okay, we discussed about all those things. We discussed about the phrases, we discussed about the clauses, we also discussed about the sentences, parts of sentences, punctuation marks, all that we discussed. Now, in this session, we will be discussing about your types of sentences. Okay, on the broader view, okay, if we consider that, then we have divided the sentences into two parts. Firstly is on the basis of your purpose, and second is on the basis of your structure. Okay, on the basis of your sentences, the sentences which are included in that category are: your first is your declarative sentence, second imperative sentence, third interrogative sentence, and fourth is your exclamatory sentence. And on the basis of your structure, simple sentence, compound sentence, and your complex sentence. But I am assuming that you already know about all these things. These basics about your grammar. I am 110% sure that it is very much clear to you. So I'll be just giving you an overview about all these things. Fine? Okay. So let's move to the types of sentence. The very first sentence is your declarative sentence. Declarative sentence are the sentences that states the facts, okay, describes things or reports events. It also ends with a full stop. Like these sentences, declarative sentence, which are actually used for declaring certain things, okay, just giving the facts. Whenever you're telling some facts or something like that about some event, then you're actually making a declaration. So those are your declarative sentences. Example: Diya worked very hard. You're declaring it, okay. He did not waste his time. You're taking a stand telling that he was not wasting his time. Delhi is situated on the banks of Yamuna. It's a fact. I like to drive a car. Fine, you're declaring things. Interrogative sentence, the sentences which ends with question mark. Interrogation, whenever you're asking something, that's an interrogation. So your questions are your interrogative sentences. The sentences that ask a question, it always ends with a question mark. Did you dance? When did you meet him? Have you read the book? Did you meet Devesh yesterday? These are all your questions, so it will be categorized under your interrogative sentences. Next is your imperative sentence. This type of sentence may or may not have a subject. Okay, it is not necessary that it will definitely be having a subject. It expresses an order, a request, an advice, a command, a suggestion. It usually ends with a full stop. Okay, whenever you're just requesting something or commanding something, giving an order, suggestion, or something like that, so those sentences are known as your imperative sentence. Please pass me the pen. You're requesting somebody, okay, so it will be an imperative sentence. Don't touch this picture. You're giving a command. Fine, so that's an imperative sentence. Let's not go. Let us not go. Suggestion, imperative. Get out of the room, order. Whenever your parents, they ask you, move out of the room or something like that, then that's an imperative sentence. Be neither a borrower nor a lender. It's an advice, so it is also an imperative sentence. Next is your exclamatory sentence. The sentence that expresses some surprise, admiration, sorrow, anger, like the sentences which actually, explains or expresses your feelings. Okay, those are your exclamatory sentences which ends with your exclamation mark. Fine. Like, for example, what a beautiful scenery. How clever she is. It's fabulous. What a shame. Oh, what a pity. Okay, all these are actually expressing the emotion. So these are your exclamatory sentences. Simple sentence. The sentence has a subject and a verb. Okay, it will be holding a subject as well, and it will be holding a verb also. It expresses a single thought and can stand on its own. Okay, it will be holding some meaning. Okay, a single thought will be there. It consists of an independent clause. For example, birds live in nest. The dog barks Baby cried for food. The girls and boys assembled in the playground. Okay, next is your compound sentence. The sentence is made of two or more independent clauses connected with a conjunction such as and, but, so, yet, or, and so on. It has no dependent clause. Like, the sentences which have two sentences but they are joined with some conjunction or something, so that is your compound sentence. For example, I want to meet him but he was not at home. She may go to the market or stay here. Both Sumit and Amit passed the examination. The old man could neither see nor hear. Complex sentences, the sentence that has one main clause and at least one dependent clause connected by the conjunction, such as because, although, unless, when, since, and so on. Like, for example, Malika ordered for food for me because I was hungry. Okay, there is a dependent clause in this, because I was hungry. Unless you work hard, you will not pass. It is also a dependent sentence. Okay, it was, unless is there. Okay, it was so dark that we lost our way. Okay, he may go wherever he likes. Okay, now active and passive voice. You already know about active sentences, passive sentences, active voice and passive voice, so I'll be just going through it. In active sentence, the person doing the action in the subject of the sentence and of the person thing receiving the action is the object. The hunter killed the lion. Active voice. Someone has cleaned the window. Active voice, like somebody did that. They called off the meeting, telling that. Okay. Passive voice. In passive sentences, the person or thing receiving the action is the subject and the person doing the action is optionally included near end of the sentence. Like, it will be included or it may not at the end of the sentence, the subject basically. Okay, the lion was killed by the hunter. The windows have been cleaned. The meeting was called off. That's the passive voice of the sentence. Parts of speech. Okay, you already know about these parts of speech, like your noun, pronoun, verb, everything you know. So we will be just going through that. There are 8 basic parts of speech in English language: noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, prepositions, conjunctions, and your interjections. The part of speech shows how the word is used. Okay, the meaning of it and the function of it. Okay, how the words, what meaning the word is holding at that particular place and what function it is performing. So all these things are considered as your parts of speech. First part, noun. The word that refers to a person, place, thing, or quality. The type of noun are your proper noun. Okay, proper noun, names of a particular person, place, or thing. Whenever you're talking about names, so it is a proper noun. For example, Nimisha, Nalini, Kerala, the Ganga. These are your proper noun. Common nouns are which are there. Okay, like dog is a noun, but if you're talking about Tommy, then Tommy is a proper noun, but dog is a common noun. Tree, water. For example, Mohan is my brother. He lives in Meerut. Meerut is a place, noun. He says honesty is the best policy. Honesty is a noun. Common noun, the noun that is not the name of a particular thing or person, but name of the complete category. As I told you, dog is a noun, but if you're talking about Tommy, then that is your proper noun. Collective noun example, family, team, audience, bundle. Collective noun, whenever you have a collection of people or things taken together. Okay, that is your collective noun. Abstract noun refers to the quality, feeling, or idea that you cannot see or touch but can only think of. Okay, whenever you have a feeling or something which you can only think, like you can feel friendship, you can feel honesty, you can feel courage, you can feel loved. Okay, these are all your abstract nouns. Countable nouns, Common nouns that can be counted, when you can count the things, okay, that is your countable noun. Fine. Your countable nouns are your pencil, chair, boys, girls, books. These are your countable nouns. Uncountable nouns, nouns that cannot be counted in numbers. They do not have a plural form, like your advice you cannot count, health, rice, milk, butter, information. So these are your uncountable nouns. Pronouns, we all know what pronouns are, the words which are used in place of a noun, that is your pronoun. Okay. Personal pronoun, I, we, you, it, they. Possessive pronouns, mine, yours, her, his, it. Demonstrative pronoun, this, that, these, those. Interrogative, what, which, who, whom. Reflexive, myself, herself, himself, itself, yourself, themselves. Indefinite pronoun, everyone, someone, somebody, none. Relative pronoun, who, whom, whose, of which. Okay. The examples, Neeraj is my friend, he plays guitar. He is your pronoun. Look at the crow, it always sits on this wall. It, pronoun. Demonstrative, this pen is mine. Okay. Mine is your, this pen, this is your pronoun. These are my books. These. Take whichever hat you want. She herself decided to go. Now your adjectives. The word that describes a noun, the word which is actually describing your noun or a pronoun is your adjective. We all know that. Beautiful, afraid, interesting, wounded, glad. These are your adjectives. Like Preetham is intelligent. Intelligent is the word which is actually describing Preetham. So intelligent is your adjective. Mohan is a rich man. Rich is describing Mohan. So rich is your pronoun. Then there is your verb. It tells about an action, process, event or state. Okay. Then there are your doing verbs, being verbs and your having verbs. Doing verbs are your do, does, did. Being verbs am, is, are, was, were. Having verbs have, has, had. Then there is your adverb, a word that describes or add to the meaning of a verb, an adjective, another adverb or a whole sentence. Adverb of time, now, then, soon, yet, still. Adverb of place, here, there, near, far, outside. Adverb of manner, bravely, quickly, easily. Adverb of degree, very, quiet, almost, completely. The examples for your adverb are, please don't come today. Okay, that is telling the time. So that is your adverb. He will come back soon. They are still here. He has done a fairly good job. Now there are your conjunctions. Conjunctions are the words which actually join phrases and your clauses. Words which join words, phrases and clauses are your conjunctions. And, but, or, either, whenever you're joining two sentences you use these words, right? So they are your conjunctions. The examples, he bought a pen and a pencil. And conjunction, she is very healthy and quite beautiful. She worked hard yet she failed. Yet is the word. Either Mohan or Karan was present. Either and or. Now preposition, a word placed before a noun. Whenever you're placing a word before noun or pronoun to show its relation with some other word in the sentence. Okay, that is your preposition. In, on, at, across, after, and these are your prepositions, bacha. The book was on the table. So on is your preposition because it is telling the relation between the book and the table. The train went through the tunnel. Okay, through is your preposition as it is telling the relation between train and the tunnel. There was a long queue at the bus stop. Okay, at is your preposition. The dog was running behind him. Behind is your preposition. Then there is your interjection, the word that expresses sudden and strong feeling. It is followed by exclamation sign. That is your interjection. Like alas, ouch, hooray, oh. These are all your interjections. Okay, then now moving on to your paragraph writing. Okay, we will be discussing about this in the next class. Okay, thank you students.